So I'm Deb Soule, and I'm an herbalist and a longtime biodynamic gardener living here in the coast of Maine. And I'm the author of the new book, The Healing Garden, Herbs for Health and Wellness. And this book was really a delight to write. Particularly, I was thinking about gardeners and people new to herbalism, to inspire people to be growing and gathering and preparing whatever types of herbal medicines that they're inspired to make. And in this book, the third chapter actually gives a lot of detailed instruction on how to prepare lots of different types of herbal remedies, including herbal glycerates. And I wanted to speak to holy basil glycerate and holy basil as an incredible healing plant in general. One of my favorite herbs. I've been growing holy basil for about 30 years. So I have a very deep heart and spirit connection with this plant. Here's a couple pictures of holy basil. We gather and grow dozens and dozens of pounds of holy basil in our garden. We also grow them in a few pots by our doorstep. So for those of you who maybe just can grow herbs in pots, holy basil is one to truly consider growing. I would say get a nice big pot, and you could put like 4 or 5 holy basil plants in it, and it has to be in a full sunny place of a deck or a doorstep. But holy basil, just the aromatic qualities of holy basil, it's said in India, which is where holy basil is native to, that the fragrance, the aroma of holy basil helps to clear away any kind of negativity or disharmony in the home, or for us in the workplace, wherever holy basil grows. It's a beautiful one for really embodying, I like to say, female divine wisdom. Holy basil is very much honored in southern India. There are beautiful, I would say there's a holy day that I had the experience of being present to. This was in November several years ago in southern India, where there was a whole altar was made to holy basil and prayers made to holy basil. So this plant is truly a very holy and sacred plant from the Ayurvedic tradition, very, very old. So how I met holy basil is about 30 years ago. Fedco Seeds, which is one of my most favorite seed catalog companies here in Maine, they offered holy basil, and it was listed as sacred basil. And they offered the seed, and I said to myself, wow, who is this plant that has the name sacred basil? And so I bought my first holy basil seeds about 30 years ago, and I started to grow holy basil, and I totally felt a deep heart connection with this plant. And so I've been growing holy basil. I learned it as sacred basil, but now today, kind of in the larger world, it's called holy basil. The Sanskrit name is Tulsi or Tulasi. But I've been growing this plant every year, as I said, for about 30 years. And I gather at least once or twice a week. I gather the flowering tops. And again, one that I love to sit with. And it's one oftentimes in the morning that this is where people might have a pot. You could do a little bit of morning meditation, just sitting with your holy basil pot. And even if you're growing in pots, you need to be nipping those flowers and leaves very regularly, like every 2 or 3 days. And you can make a sun tea from your holy basil. You can dry the holy basil leaves and flowers, so you have dried tea all through the winter. You can make fresh holy basil glycerate or fresh holy basil tincture from the holy basils. We make so much holy basil medicine here at Avena. The glycerate, again, is one of my favorites because the glycerin helps to infuse all those incredible aromatic healing oils of the holy basil. It's this sweet, non-alcoholic liquid that you can just take under your tongue. And holy basil has many, many beneficial properties. A few that I'll say that come from my long connection with holy basil is that really on an emotional, spiritual level, holy basil helps to really bring a sense of peace and harmony and balance to the heart and the mind. So I think that connection to our heart and mind right now is so valuable in this time that we're living in, to live from a more heart-centered place and from a place that we actually feel the spirit of holy basil, because every plant has a spirit, has an essence. And when we are able to be in relationship with all the plants that we're growing, and holy basil in particular, I think really teaches us to have deep respect and honor for the spirit of these plants and their healing gifts to us. So besides that sort of calming and bringing a sense of harmony and peace, holy basil also is very beneficial. All those, the pungent kind of aromatic oils help to rise the energy into our head so that we can actually have less foggy thinking, so we can have a clearer mind, a little more concentration. Bacopa and holy basil, two of my favorite herbs to use in combination, both of them coming from the Ayurvedic tradition. But holy basil by itself, I tend to just, when I'm really wanting that support in my heart, I'll just take a little bit right under my tongue. And I also, as I said, I love to dry holy basil and have it throughout the winter months as a dried tea. And in the summertime, what I'll do is I'll gather just the leaves and flowers, and I'll fill a quart glass jar just full of the fresh leaf and flower and cover it with water, and then I just have a sun tea. So in my book, I did describe how to make sun teas, how to dry herbs, how to make herbs from fresh herbs, how to make tea from fresh herbs, from dried herbs. I'm really hoping that this book will just reach more and more and more people who are interested in working with medicinal plants. You know, as I said, I really was inspired to really write it for gardeners. But even if you're not a gardener, but you're just interested in how do you make tea, how do you use tinctures, who are these beautiful plants, and how can my own spirit and my own body benefit from the beautiful gifts that herbs bring. So, it was such an honor to work with Molly on this book, and I just am excited for the book to be coming out at the end of April, and to, as I said, I hope it will be inspirational to gardeners and to herbalists everywhere.